trucker saves a 1-year-old abandoned amid Storm Beryl. Look at that cute face. Per CNN and local reports, truck driver Reginald Walton found 1-year-old King Trail Jack alive in a ditch off the Interstate 10 highway in Louisiana this week. That was the day after the child's 4-year-old brother, Legend Jack, was found dead near the same freeway in what investigators think was a case of abandonment around the time tropical storm conditions hit the area. Oh, that's sweet. Walton, meanwhile, told Caden, he didn't feel like he was a hero. I just feel it was God's will for me to be in the right place at the right time. Walton was driving on I-10 when he saw something to the right over in the embankment, he told CNN affiliate KADN, adding that he assumed it was a doll that someone had tossed out of a vehicle. But as I was passing by, I saw it move. I said, hey, that looks like a baby, Walton of Texas told the outlet. Walton was traveling 60 to 75 miles per hour. It took him about a quarter of a mile to stop the truck, he said. He called 911, stopped the truck, ran back. He told KADN. Sure enough, there was a little boy sitting down the embankment there. As I approached him, he smiled at me. And then he stood up and started crying and walked toward me, Walton said. Calcasieu Parish Sheriff Stitch Guillory of Louisiana said he believes the 1-year-old spent 2 days along the Interstate 10, including while Hurricane Beryl or its weaker iterations battered the western Gulf Coast region. Though Guillory has not said whether investigators know precisely when the siblings were left. He praised Walton for seeing the child and stopping to pick him up Tuesday. We looked at this 1-year-old as our miracle baby because he was still alive. This kid spent 2 days out in the weather on the side of the highway. Thank God that trucker saw him. Investigation began Monday afternoon when the 4-year-old brother's body was found floating in water behind a rest stop off I-10 in western Louisiana. Calcasieu Parish, just across the Texas state line, sheriff officials said. No cause of death was immediately announced. That day, Beryl made landfall in Texas as a hurricane and weakened to a tropical storm, tropical depression, as it impacted Louisiana, dropping rain, delivering wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour to the parish. Children's mother, 25-year-old Aaliyah Jack of Lake Charles, Louisiana, has been arrested in Mississippi and faces murder and other charges, accused of abandoning the children in Louisiana. Detective eventually learned the 4-year-old had last been seen on Saturday with his mother and his 1-year-old brother. Police in Meridian, Mississippi then found Jack without the 1-year-old, and she was arrested there initially on suspicion of failing to report a missing child. On Tuesday morning, the 1-year-old turned up alive along I-10 back in Louisiana. The 1-year-old was found near mile marker 10, about 9 miles from the rest stop where his brother had been found dead the day before. Deputies identified the boy as Jack's 1-year-old son. He was taken to the hospital, later released to the State Department of Children and Family Services. Sheriff's Office spokesperson Kayla Vinson told CNN. On Thursday, Jack, still in custody in Mississippi, was charged in Louisiana with second-degree murder, cruelty to a juvenile, and 2 counts of failure to report a missing child, the Sheriff's Department said. It's unknown if she has an attorney. Consuela Jack, Aaliyah Jack's mother and grandmother to the children, told CNN the last time she saw the kids was Saturday at her mother's funeral, after which her daughter took them. Consuela Jack said she and her daughter had an agreement in which the grandmother would generally take care of the 2 boys, but Aaliyah Jack was free to see them whenever she wanted. Consuela learned of her 4-year-old grandson. I can't, but the pictures are just so beautiful. Consuela learned of her 4-year-old grandson's death on Tuesday from his paternal grandmother, followed by confirmation from a detective. She does not know the circumstances leading to the child's death or how her 1-year-old grandson ended up on the side of the road, she told CNN. I know at this moment, I just want my grandbaby back. Yeah. Consuela, who was living in Houston when she heard the news, has since relocated to Lake Charles. She has been calling Child Protective Services daily for updates on her surviving grandson. I don't know what to think. I buried my mother on Saturday, and now I learned this, she said, describing her 4-year-old grandson as an awesome kid. She expressed sorrow, apologized to her late grandson. As of Thursday, she had not spoken with her daughter to learn what happened and hopes to be reunited with her surviving grandson soon. Mayor, this is a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching story.
Yeah,
We can't imagine. You're outside in the elements. Your mother's not with you. No one's with you. Your older brother, your 4-year-old brother dies. Thank goodness the trucker saw him.
this is this this is too much harm, tragedy for one family or anybody to have to live through. I think just thinking what could have happened if that trucker was looking just at that moment in a different direction and not seeing that child. Also, 9 miles in between where his brother was found. Did this little child walk 9 miles in that time? It's so many questions, so many thoughts that I'm afraid to think about because it's just saddening for sure.
Yeah, it is. And my mind kept racing. I wish that 4-year-old would have been able to find a safe hand, safe eyes. What people do to children. In this case, it appears abandoned. I am just heartbroken. Let's hope the grandmother, who seems well meaning, seems to love her children, her grandbabies, is reunited and somehow the family can heal from this because it is sick to think about. It is absolutely sick to think about.